Hello, Serge here from the backyard driving range. All right, we have I guess we're going to call it a comment that came into customer service, and it's a really good comment and brings up a really good topic of what do these dailies really accomplish, and why am I doing them, and why are y'all listening? Okay, and this one comes in from Barry Glasgow, and Barry brings up some really good comments, but I think I can present the flip side of the coin to what Barry's comments are, which are good comments. Barry says, I love your daily videos, and I have a suggestion for you. In your daily videos, you frequently spend more time discrediting the rotary swing than teaching the PPGS. There are millions using the rotary swing, and it works. That's not about to change. The PPGS is an alternative to the rotary swing with many advantages, and I am an advocate of it. If you devote more time teaching the PPGS, it will provide more instruction, a better overall experience, and be more beneficial to your followers. Please consider it. Absolutely, I am considering it. But I also have a follow-up that came in, and this is the perfect example of what my basic my stance will be on it. Okay, and this one comes in to customer service from Alan Kerr. All right, and Alan says, can you do a daily pointing out the differences between the stack and tilt golf swing versus the peak performance golf swing? I think I may be keeping some bad habits. Let me repeat that. I think I may be keeping some bad habits. All right, I think that the most important issue here is how do we look at, and why is it necessary, as Alan Kerr asked, that I should talk about some of these other swings. I guess you could say, if I'm talking about it and saying that the PPGS is different and very likely better because it is body friendly, and that's why most of the people are here, I think that we could call that discrediting it. I like to think that I do it in a very civil and educational manner, and that it's productively done. All right, and it's because I receive. Remember, every question that comes in doesn't get put on, because in many cases they're very similar to things I've already done. But I can't tell you how many of these questions I get from Alan, like I got from Alan about he was a stack and tilter and he found this swing and it's working better, and so he wants to know, where's it going wrong. And if you talk to me or Dave Seaman or Greg McDonald or any of our teachers, what's the one thing they're going to tell you? Most golfers are caught somewhere in the middle. All right, they've been doing as was so well stated by Barry, that there's millions of people doing it. Heck, the 3/4 of the 90% probably of the PGA Tour is doing it that way, and it's about the only thing that's been taught since 1992 to 94, when the paradigm shift happened from the vertical swing that was the world led by Golf Digest to today, and even in the PGA, in our seminars, in our business schools and everything else. It's been nothing but that taught for 20 years. I haven't been to a school since 1992, a seminar or anything, that anything was ever mentioned about vertical, other than there's some nut out there teaching intermittent up the tree. Okay? And so they're defending their point there. They're defending their ground there. But I think that defense is only good if you got science and physiology that can back it up. All right? And we do. They don't. I'll give you another example. I had a gentleman, his name is Greg with 2 G's, from Connecticut. He got a hold of me, sent in a video to me through our online skills coach. I was having a lot of problems with it, and he ended up mailing it to me, and I just looked at it on my phone. Now here's a guy that's about close to a scratch handicap. He was scratched years ago when he played in college, and like most people, gave it up for years, didn't play much golf at all for years, because starting a new career, new family, everything. Now he's got things kind of settled. His kids are getting bigger. They're starting to play golf. So he's joined the club again, and he's starting to play, and he started off with stack and tilt, and what happens? Within 2 weeks, boom, his back is killing him, hitting the ball terrible. So he goes in there and Googles body-friendly swing or a back pain-free swing or something, and he finds Peak Performance Golf. And he goes out there and starts doing it. This gentleman had bought the manual, bought almost all the swing videos, looked at everything, just devoured everything, went out there and started practicing. And remember, this gentleman is now, I can't remember because I haven't told you yet, but he's in his, I think he's in his late 40s, early 50s, and he's been playing golf since he's a kid. So he learned the original vertical swing years ago. Remember, if you've been playing golf over 20 years now, you very likely started and were taught a somewhat vertical golf swing on both sides, okay? So he kind of got it. He says, I'm hitting the ball really good. It's just I got too much dispersion. I bang a few to the right, and I'm getting a lot of straight pulls. So I look at his videos, and what does he got? He's got a very, very good backswing. A little slow getting it up in the mitt, which is the carryover the old days of take it back low and slow, slow and low. And if your ball was here, they tell you put a tee in the ground and nick that tee going back. Well, you know that. We want to get the club up as fast as we can. I cured that, no problem with him. But his problem was on this side. He had too wide a finish. Oh, he wasn't going over here like he was originally doing, but he was coming up high, but he was still going way too wide. Got him to come right up here and close of the year. That's why it's tough. If I play golf with a hat like this on, I take it off every time and put it on the ground and hit, because if I do, it's always kind of getting in the way, and if the brim is a little firm, it'll pop the hat off, and you know what happens when you lose your hat and the wind's blowing the wrong way, and next thing you know, you're running down a fairway 30 yards, running like crazy. So if there's a lake there, your hat doesn't go in the lake to get it. So anyways, I take them off and lay it on the ground and hit if I wear a hat like this. Mostly I prefer the real floppies. But that's why. I think it's because and if you read many of these questions, even if they don't come out and say it, you can tell by what they're saying, they were caught up. They were doing rotational swings, or they were doing whatever. And they're trying to transition over, and their setup is still off, or their swing is still off. And in many cases, they're kind of caught in the middle. They're doing enough of the peak performance correctly to hit better shots, but they still got too big a dispersion, too many problems with ball contact or whatever. And so they're looking for the answers. I can't dance around the subject, because especially when somebody like Alan comes in and says, hey, what is the difference between stack and tilt and peak performance? And basically the difference with stack and tilt is it's another, I think, more shall we say, radical, in that they want more of your weight on your front side. They want you to swing even, very, very flat. They got you way on your left side here. You hit the ball and you stay on your left side. And even in the regular rotational swingers, they're probably more centered in their feet, but they still with the turn, you're going to get pulled a little far ahead, but you're not going to be as severely on your left side, and you won't be as coming down quite maybe as sharp with an angle of attack and be prone to deeper divots, and you still may have a pretty good chance of getting your finish. But in the world I see with stack and tilt golfers, almost most of them can't finish, because if they can't, if when they were so far ahead as they got, they say the chest covering the ball, so you're getting a reverse tilt swing, as I call it, and then covering the ball, and because your weight's so far forward, you can't swing up. You just got to cut it off right here so you don't fall down. And so that just cutting it off like that and trying to hit a ball hard, or reasonably powerfully, is going to put a lot of stress on your back to hit it, and then have to stop real quick and support yourself. So I think that in this day, with an age where the peak performance golf swing, as I say, most everybody's on that side of the street, and I'm over here, most people are caught here in the middle. And so the more they can know about how they can get more to our side of the street completely and diverge themselves completely of that, the better off they would be. So I can't overlook that, because people keep asking me about it. They want to know, here's what I got, here's what I was, where can I get to where you are completely? I'd like to get rid of that, or I thought I got rid of it. Do I still have some? So that's why we go there. So I really believe that when I talk rotational, I'm hopefully, and if I haven't, haven't done it correctly, or sometimes, I just think I've done. I think I've always tried to maintain decorum in defining what one is, and how it is, and what peak performance is, and where the differences are. Because I keep getting asked those questions all the time at golf schools and private lessons and everything else. As I said, probably for the 5th time in this video, many Surgites are caught somewhere in the middle. And the more we can get them leaning towards peak performance, the better they're going to get. So I don't think that there's any way, shape, or form I can avoid discussing those other types of swings, especially when Surgites keep asking about them. Because again, I believe knowledge and understanding leads to commitment and conviction. And that's why when I teach a golf lesson, I explain everything. Because until you have it in your head, your brain, which makes the muscles move, you can't effectively, efficiently, and consistently make the same swing until you understand what has to happen, why it happens, how you make it happen. And so knowledge is a good thing to have, because with knowledge, and you know what you want, and you make your mind on what you want, and you know what it is, then you got a lot better chance of doing it. So hopefully, I really think that we can't avoid discussing them. We do it in a very logical, scientific, knowledgeable, and correct way in passing on, giving information so that you can make up your mind as to where you are and where you need to go in getting to, and learning the peak performance golf swing so you can make better setups, hit better shots, and shoot those lower scores. That's it for the Surge for today, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.